Good, very good.
Yes, good. All right. Well, I'm so glad to connect with all of you. I appreciate you for taking time out of your day. Some of you are going to be cooking with me, which I am super excited. And thank you again to the Ypsilanti Seventh-day Adventist Church for having me here to cook with you. Thank you, Debbie and Celeste. And I am excited for us to talk about holiday meals that are simple and sweet. How many of you like to cook long meals in the kitchen? Okay. All right. How many of you like to make short meals in the kitchen?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So essentially my cookbook, which all of these recipes are actually out of, called Simple and Sweet. You can get it on my website at bewellbewhole.org. If you haven't already, essentially these recipes came from the principle. Originally, I used to make really long recipes. So I was trained by a French chef, and I know how to make really complex recipes, some that take days. And I was sharing this with other people, and a member of my team was like, "Why do you have so many ingredients?" I was like, "That is a really good question." They're like, they were supporting me with all my different events, and they're like, "This is a lot." So I was like, "Okay, let's make simple and sweet recipes." And I like it too, because especially if you're having like a lot of things on your plate and you're living a really fast-paced lifestyle, it's really nice to just be able to make something quick. And these dishes that we're going to make are probably one of a few of the ones that are like 30 minutes. There's other recipes in the cookbook that are about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But since we're making holiday, this is going to be a little bit longer, but still within 30 minutes for each recipe. So how many of you are cooking with me? All right. Well, if you are cooking with me, what you can do is go ahead in your oven and actually turn your oven to 375 degrees. So go to your oven real quick and turn your oven on 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so we're going to start with the ones that take the longer time first. So we have our ovens on 375, and the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start making collard greens. And before I dive a little bit deeper into these recipes, I like making plant-based cuisine because essentially you're helping to fuel your body with nutritious meals, going back to the original diet that was given to us in the beginning. In the beginning, God gave us plant-based foods to eat for food. You can check out Genesis 1:29. There's so many great benefits. When you go more animal-based products, the animals get their nutrients directly from vegetables. So instead of going to the middleman, go directly to the source, the things that fuel them. That was designed to fuel us too. So go directly to the source. And today we're going to be talking about Genesis 1:29, plant-based foods, going back to the original diet that helps build up our bodies, can help prevent lifestyle diseases, can help restore and heal the body, at the same time helping you feel full, and can actually help with weight loss goals. So those are just a few reasons why I like cooking plant-based, but we're going to start with the collard greens. So I'm going to switch my camera to this. Hold on one moment. Okay. Debbie, can you give me access to share screens?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hold on. Okay.
Excellent. Okay, hold on once. Oh, I'm still getting the ping.
You're getting what?
It says disabled. for,
Okay.
yeah.
Hold on. It's Daniel, right? Is your,
Yes, or it may show up as Nicole. No, oh, sorry, Nicole. Nicole Braxton.
oh, okay, all right. That's it. Okay.
Thank you, thank you.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
so I will share. All right, so can you guys see my cutting board?
Yes.
Excellent. So now we're going to start with a yellow onion. So I'll use half of a yellow onion for the recipe. And I'm going to begin chopping it. One of the cool ways to, prevent crying is definitely trying to stay away from this. I'm going to go ahead and cut the onion. And I also like, in particular, staying away from breaking this as your first cutting. I'll remove the first layer of skin of the onion as well. And I also keep a healthy distance, so I'm not directly in front of the onion. All right. And I'm just gonna make some slits like this. How many of you like onions?
Oh, yeah.
I love onion. I don't know how anyone could possibly cook without onion and the garlic.
Garlic, amen.
Yeah, I use it in everything.
Amen. It's so funny. I was showing my recipes at an event and someone said, do you like garlic and onions? I was like, yes, I do. Those are staples for me. It's actually great for your gut health as well, creating healthy bacteria for your microbiome. So I definitely like that component. And especially adding garlic as well is a great thing. So I sliced up my onions and I'm just going to go over it a little bit more. All right, now now that I have my onions, I am going to now move over to the stove top, and I'm gonna switch my camera. Okay, now I'm going to take about 3.5 cups of water, and I'm going to turn on my stove. There, okay, great. All right, and then I'm gonna put 3.5 cups of water inside of my pot. The next thing I'm gonna do is take collard greens. So you can get them actually pre-made. Collard greens like this, ready to go, pre-washed, and it's 1 pound.
Mhm.
So you get 2 1-pound bags. So I'm gonna layer it. So I have the water at the bottom, then I'm gonna go collard greens. Then I'm gonna go onions, pick some onions, so collard greens. Then I'm gonna add some nutritional yeast flakes, just a little sprinkle. Then again, I'm gonna do the same thing and layer it again. Collard greens. And even though it may seem like a lot of collard greens, it cooks down.
Mhm.
So you will actually have, and collard greens are great for vitamin K. They actually help build up your bones. So that is a great thing as well. So I'm going to do some more onions. Then I'm going to add some more collard greens. I will also add some liquid aminos. And then I'll put it there to give it a little bit of flavors. Liquid aminos it has protein in it and it's a substitute for soy sauce. And you can actually get coconut liquid aminos as well. So. All right. So put some more collard greens. The next thing I'm going to do is continue to put the nutritional yeast flakes. I'm also going to add some garlic powder and onion powder. Some garlic, onion, there we go. Some more collard green. And then I'm going to finish off with the different seasonings. So the nutritional yeast flakes with which has B12. When eating a plant-based diet, you're likely to have less B12 as you would on a animal-based diet. So you can actually take a supplement depending. I definitely recommend that you consult with your doctor. They've found that when it comes to supplements, B12 vitamins that dissolve under the tongue tend to be more effective. So that is one component. Something when it combines with your natural saliva, it is been seen to show to be more effective than just a regular B12 capsule. But this nutritional yeast flakes does have B12. I'm also going to add some liquid smoke for that smoky flavor. So I'm going to put it there like this. Okay. And now I'm just gonna, if you're looking at the recipe, you'll see chili garlic sauce. You don't need to put chili garlic sauce. If you would like to, you can. It's just an added bonus. So if you want a little bit of a kick, you could put some chili garlic sauce, and that's completely optional. So what you're gonna do now is let this cook on medium heat, and you can simmer covered. So we're gonna cover that next. And just let that simmer down, and all of the flavors from the garlic, from the onion powder, from the liquid smoke is just going to seep down and smoke the collard greens to give it that nice Southern style flavor. So that's going to cook for about 20 to 25 minutes. No, sorry, 30 minutes for a little bit, and then we'll put some coconut milk in there, but total, depending on how your stovetop is situated, the total amount is about 45 minutes. But the good thing is you don't have to do anything other than now it's cooking on its own. You're not even touching it anymore. So bam, that's done. We'll check on it in about 30 minutes. How is everyone that is cooking with me right now? How are you doing? I know Celeste is cooking.
Doing good.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay, good. All right. Sorry, I just got something in my eye. All right, so we've got that. We've got our collard greens. Is anyone that's cooking with me? Does anyone need me to go over anything if you're cooking with me? All right. Seems like we're all good there. Feel free to stop me at any moment especially if you're cooking with me, you have any questions. So we've got the collard greens cooking right now. And now the next thing that we're going to make is the cornbread casserole. So I really love cornbread, and especially the casserole component of it. I like that it's simple and sweet, and that it has a nice gooey texture, and it's still firm too. So it complements the collard greens and the barbecue jackfruit. So how many of you have, what are your favorite holiday meals? I see Catherine's iPad. It seems like you want to say something.
I don't have any favorites anymore because
Oh,
I'm a
really?
caregiver. I'm a caregiver. And so it's just a simple meal for me.
Okay, I completely get that. How about you, Debbie? What is one of your favorite holiday meals?
Macaroni and cheese.
Ooh, I like macaroni and cheese too.
So-
That is definitely, yeah, what were we gonna say?
No, unfortunately, we have a good vegan recipe too, so that's really great. And it tastes a lot like the original if you were using real cheese.
Awesome. Okay. I love mac and cheese. That is just something I'm raised on and I completely agree with you. Excellent. Okay, so we've got our collard greens on there. Now we're going to go to our cornbread casserole. We're going to start this off with 2 cans of cream style corn. So you can get it just like this, cream style corn. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just clear up my space. Okay. Now I'm going to switch my camera so you can actually see. So you see the collard greens. Now you can actually see the pot for our cream style corn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cream style corn and I'm going to put it into the bowl. I have 2 cans of it. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take melted vegan butter, 2 tablespoons, and I'm going to add that in there. The next thing that I'm going to take is,
What was that, Nicole? You just added?
that was melted vegan butter.
Oh.
So how you can melt it, you can either take 2 tablespoons of the vegan butter, you can melt it in a skillet. So that's one way. So you could just, you measure out the 2 tablespoons, you can melt it in a skillet, or you could actually put it directly in a microwave, depending on how you feel about microwaves, and you can melt it that way too. So there's 2 options.
What kind of vegan butter do you use?
It depends. Today I use Miyoko's.
Mm,
Have any of you used this one before?
yes.
Yeah, isn't it delicious? It has little salt in there. It has a hint of sea salt, which is nice. And when it comes to your salt, it's really good to have salt that's less processed because it's more it has more nutrients and it has less additives in it as well. So Himalayan salt, pink Himalayan salt, sea salt. You want the salts that are less processed.
What are the other ingredients in that?
In this butter,
Yeah.
yikes, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna say it has organic coconut oil, cultured cashew milk, filtered water, sunflower oil, and sunflower lectin, as well as sea salt. And I'll do it like this so you can see it as well.
Mhm.
Are
If
there
you're trying, if,
Are there any alternatives for people who are trying to avoid the oils? For example, coconut oil is a saturated oil. So some people with a heart disease, that they typically try to avoid saturated fat.
Sure, you're wanting some without oil instead of butter. So like it depends on what you're making. So for example, like if you're making baked goods, sweet baked goods, like you could use apple sauce as a supplement with low sugar.
Okay.
So that's definitely a great thing for baked goods. And for this particular recipe, you could possibly, as opposed to having the butter, you could just add a little bit of sea salt and a little extra corn, like the cream style corn, because it still has that nice consistency. And then just put a little bit more of Himalayan salt. So just look at the measurements. So it's 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So you can just add a little extra cream style corn, put a little sea salt. And then if you're doing baked goods, applesauce would be a good support as opposed to using oils, if that makes sense.
Fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So,
Could I make a comment?
yes.
Coconut, is in the category of being a vegetable fat.
A healthy
So it's one of the healthier ones. So it has little, you can have a little less concern about that because it is in the vegetable category.
Yeah, some people can, but there are a few heart patients that they have said that they needed to lower their fat content to almost 10%.
Mm.
So that's what I'm basing it on.
So for those that are in a critical state, health-wise, definitely actually, removing oil from the diet as a whole is best. However, if you're in a healthier state and you're able to actually take on healthy fats like coconut oil, avocado, the natural state with the fiber, that is definitely something that is great to have. But it is rich in healthy fats. But if someone definitely is in a critical state, you can remove it as a whole. All right, so the next thing I'm going to have is Jiffy. And again, anything that I say today, I definitely recommend that you consult with your doctor because they know your current situation better than anyone else. Also, we have a vegetarian Jiffy corn muffin mix that I'm going to add to this as well. I'm using 2 8.5-ounce packets of this. And listen, guys, if I'm cooking, you can do this too. I promise you, I don't like staying in the kitchen long. So what time are we at? Okay, good. All right. So adding this in there as well. So now all I'm going to do, we've got the vegan butter, we've got the cream style corn, and now we've got the corn muffin mix by Jiffy. I don't know if you know this, but actually the original Jiffy one is made with pork. Pork fat. So getting the vegetarian one is great. So now all I'm going to do is mix this together like so. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I love this camera.
Yes, where do you find the vegan version of the Jiffy?
Yeah, you can. So this is the vegetarian one. I think it is vegan. I don't see anything that shows that it has any animal products in it. So I got this. You can get it from Kroger, Walmart. It is a hot item right now. So I definitely recommend, just to check it out in advance. You can even call, but yeah, you can just find it right next to the regular Jiffy. And you can get it from there. So this is the vegetarian one.
In Ann Arbor, Kroger's has it.
Yep, Kroger. All right, so we've got that going.
Was your cream style corn vegan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, it is vegan. It has it just has corn, cornstarch, salt, water, and it has some sugar added to it.
Okay.
Yep, so it's 100% vegan.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so that is stirred. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a dish and I'm going to actually spray coconut oil to this. And then the next thing I'm going to do is just pour it right in. Like this. It's very simple. So it's literally done. All you're going to do now is let it bake. So that's why we turn our ovens at 375. And this
Nicole,
yes.
do we need to add the baking powder or no? We don't have to.
No, you're absolutely correct. I'm
Okay.
looking at the recipe like, what? I need my baking powder. So yes, we do need our baking powder. So we're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder.
Okay.
I got too excited, guys. Thank you for that, Celeste. All right. I'm going to add this in and I'm just going to mix it in the pot. You can actually, it's better to not mix it in the pot, but you can just mix it in just like this. Have you guys ever heard of Tabitha Brown?
Yes.
I like how she says like so like that, something like
Yeah.
that. Like so like that, just like that. Okay.
Mhm.
So now we've got that in there and I'm just doing like this. Okay. Bam, we're done. Now it's gonna go in the oven. I'm going to, so I sprayed it. Let's see, and I'm putting it in a baking dish. I'm gonna bake it for 30 to 35 minutes.
Have you ever tried to add red peppers to that diced?
No, but I think it would definitely be worth the try. Yeah.
I think
Or
I-
Definitely
green
worth it.
chilies,
And what did you say?
green chilies.
Ooh, see that, that is
Mexican
that's
style.
I like that. Okay. So we've got that. And now what I'm going to do is move to our last dish, which is the barbecue jackfruit. So how many of you have tried jackfruit before?
I have.
You have? Okay. Awesome. And so we've got our jackfruit, which is amazing. And
That one I'm making with you.
you're making that with me? Okay.
Get those ingredients.
Nice. So we've got our jackfruit. And just by the way, I'm looking at all my recipes right out of this cookbook right here. And some of you already have it at home. And if you registered, you got the login information. So and the recipes were sent to you as well. But this is just a few recipes from the main book. So I have the pulled barbecue jackfruit. So I'm going to start with 2 ounces of jackfruit in brine. So I want to show you what it actually looks like. So you get the cans and it looks like this, young green jackfruit. And I like this because it's less sweet than if you were to buy the fresh one in the market, because at that time it is full grown and it is fully sweet, like more like a dessert as or like a fruit. It tastes more like a sweet fruit as opposed to more of a mild taste that you can adjust to meet the flavors that you're going to season it with. So for example, it's more like moldable. So if you take young green jackfruit and you put it with barbecue sauce, it's more likely to take on the flavor of the barbecue sauce. And if you put it with, whatever other seasonings, it'll take on that flavor. So I'm going to switch my camera and I'm going to bring out one more item and you guys can watch the collard greens cook down and I will be right back.
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna do that corn thing for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that looks good.
Mhm. That's a good idea to put those chilies in it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. So now I'm going to take my jackfruit. Let's switch my camera. All right, so now I took a food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you can actually take the jackfruit and just break it apart with a fork. So this is what the jackfruit looks like when it comes out of the can. So you'll take it out of the can and drain it. And then rinse it. So here's the jackfruit cut up in slices.
In what area of the grocery store do you find that, Nicole?
That's a great question. So the jackfruit, you can find it usually near, like for example, if you go to Trader Joe's, it's normally right by the barbecue sauce section. If you go to like an Asian market, it's typically kind of near the frozen section, right directly across from like frozen meats. So it's in like the vegetable aisle, but it depending on the store, the location, but at Trader Joe's, it's directly next to the sauces, like the barbecue sauces. I actually went to Trader Joe's the other day, and it's such a popular thing. And in Ann Arbor, they were sold out.
Mm.
So maybe you all got the jackfruit for this cooking class and got it all. Cause I was like, what? I've never heard them say that before. They're like, yeah, we're all out. So
Trader Joe didn't have it at all when I
yeah,
went the first day.
They've
And
been
they-
out a few times.
they've been out a few times. I think they're not ordering enough. So the ones that I normally go to, every time I go, it's always there. But I think because of the holiday, more people are learning about jackfruit.
Mhm.
In such a popular thing. So yeah, they were out this week, but Asian markets have it. I went to an Asian market today to get this. So that is a great resource to go to. So I'm going to have young green jackfruit and I'm going to add it in. Okay. I have 2 cans of it.
The first time I had this, I was at U of M cafeteria, and I thought it was actual meat, and the guy told me, no, it's jackfruit. And it was-
Well, let's watch and see how is it going to be minced?
I don't know how she wants them.
More like shredded.
All right, so now that we've got that, I'm going to plug in my food processor and then I'm going to start cooking. And Celeste, I just want to check in. If you don't have a food processor, I could also show you how to do it with fork too. Which one works best for you?
I have a food processor. I
Excellent.
mean, a chopper type.
Yes, yeah, perfect. Then you
Okay.
could just chop that. Yep.
I'm just cutting mine apart. I'm just pulling mine apart. I don't have a food processor. I do
Sure.
have-
Oh, you're cutting yours apart. Okay, excellent. Also, do you have a Ziploc bag with you?
Yes. I do,
So-
yes.
So I will say this, this is me. Before I started using food processors, I actually put it in a Ziploc bag and I would just pound it and it would actually break it as well. So you could put it in a Ziploc bag. You can pound it just like you would like meat. You just pound it and break it apart, or you could cut it up as well.
Okay.
Whatever works best for you.
Such a neat idea.
I'm glad I
Yes.
know where Matus and Lynn and Celeste live. That's where I'm going after this.
Go. This is awesome. So here's what it looks like. Do you guys see how that looks like actual meat?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Excellent. So yeah, that is our jackfruit. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually use a white onion for the recipe. I'm gonna move this out of your way so you can look at this, and I'm going to use a white onion. I'm gonna use about a half of a white onion, actually.
Is that because it has a milder taste that you're using a white onion?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
And yeah, it definitely has a milder taste. It's not too sweet because the jackfruit is already sweet, so that it doesn't take away from that, or it doesn't add to the sweetness. It kind of helps balance it out. Then I'm gonna cut this onion. All right. Actually, I've been actually working with, we also work with naturopathic doctors, and some of you know our wellness retreat is actually coming up again in March. So we're actually going to have an early code that will go live later this month if you're interested in going to the wellness retreat. And speaking of wellness, I was talking with some of my colleagues that are into naturopathic remedies, and there is some research and some studies that have shown having onions in your house externally cut can actually draw out toxins, fresh onions. So that is what some people are using as natural remedies and helping them to stay healthy during the cold month seasons. So, oops.
Did you say just having them cut up in the house?
Yeah, open, raw. Like,
Okay, okay.
yeah, and so it just, the way that the onion is designed, it actually draws out the toxins in
Mhm.
the environment. And granted, I have never done it. This is just what I've been recently showing different studies and feedback from my colleagues. So some people have found it to be very helpful and beneficial for creating a better environment that has less toxins in it. So I cut half of a white onion. And the next thing that I'm going to do is, so we already drained the water from the jackfruit. We rinsed it in a strainer. We put the jackfruit in a food processor and pulsed it for about 3 to 5 minutes. We already did that. And then also in a skillet, now I'm going to saute onions and garlic in olive oil. So you don't have to use olive oil if you're against using oil. You can also use water. Extra virgin cold pressed olive oil is great in the sense that it's great because it's less processed. So using the extra virgin cold pressed olive oil is a great substitute. Ultimately, when it comes to oil, it's better to have it directly from the source, going back to the original diet, how it was originally created. Because actually olives, when the olive is together, it actually has fiber, so it's less likely for you to have a sugar spike when you have olive oil. So that's what some of the concern is with cholesterol, but we're using a minimal amount, so it shouldn't be a concern. However, if you're in a critical state, you can just use water instead of olive oil. Okay.
Nicole,
Yeah.
I'm actually cooking with Lorna and she's making me laugh. She's like, we don't measure. We just throw it in.
That's fine. I don't really measure. I don't measure either, but I just do it so if anybody goes home, they're like, "What did she do?" Just do a little dab. Just do a little dab if you don't measure. Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil in the skillet. I don't measure either. So, but if you're at home, use those measurements. They work. All right. So I'm going to use extra virgin olive oil. I'm also going to use a half of an onion. Let that simmer. Okay. All right, so we've got our onions, we've got the extra virgin olive oil, got it diced. We're gonna saute that, and then we're gonna add our favorite barbecue sauce. And we're just gonna allow it to cook. So it's just sauteing right now. And our collard greens are cooking down. You see how it's going down? So it's been about 30 minutes. So we could just give it a little sauce. And Celeste, how are your collard greens doing?
They look really, really good.
Awesome. Does it look like you need more water? If so, you can add some.
No.
I just realized I had mine on high. But yeah, that is great if it's going good. All right, so we've got the onion sauteed. This helps the flavors to really release from the onions and helping to really build that good microbiome, which is our gut health. Our gut is directly connected to our mind through something called the vagus nerve. So essentially the food that you eat directly sends signals to your brain, which have you ever realized if you eat something that's really greasy, that you kind of feel more tired, lethargic, and things like that? Have any of you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed when you get butter, like if you're nervous and you start feeling like butterflies in your stomach? Have you guys ever experienced that? It's because our gut and our mind are directly connected. So eating plant-based is not just for you to eat healthy food. It actually can help you perform better at the task at hand. And by having a clearer mind, it also can help you in other facets of your life, mental, physical, spiritual. And we'll get into the later part for that as well. All right, I'm going to switch my camera. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna add my favorite barbecue sauce.
So what's your favorite barbecue sauce, Nicole?
Oh, there we go. Great question. So I'm using Stubbs. This is one of my favorite barbecue sauce. It's a smoky mesquite. So I'm just adding a little bit of that to it. And I like it because it doesn't have high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup actually turns off the receptors in your brain that lets you know when you're hungry or full. So actually it causes, when you have high fructose corn syrup, it's a strategic marketing ploy in the sense that you can keep consuming more and not even realizing that you're full. So this has no high fructose corn syrup in it, which is great. It has minimal ingredients and most of them, I understand exactly what they are. And it's not bad on the calories, 50 calories for 2 tablespoons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, someone's like, now you're talking. We're getting ready. We're ready. We're getting summer strong all year long. Okay. We just need to be ready at all times. So it's great for weight loss in the sense if you're trying to monitor your caloric intake. So we've got that going. Now I'm going to add jackfruit. And add this directly in. And if you want to use less than half an onion, that's fine too.
Trader Joe's has an organic Kansas City style barbecue sauce as well.
I love that. Yeah, that is excellent. I definitely like Trader Joe's sauce.
I wish they would ship things.
Well, Amazon, most of those sauces you can actually find on Amazon as well. So I'm just gonna saute this in.
Nicole, while you add in the jackfruit, what is the health benefits of jackfruit?
Yeah, jackfruit actually it is rich in fiber. It has some elements of protein in it, which is good for you. Not enough to be 100% meat supplement, but it does have elements of protein, and it also is rich in fiber, and it has some sources of folate in it as well. So I actually realized at one of our classes, there was one of our attendees that shared, she went home and made this recipe and she realized, and let me actually share a little bit more. So fiber is great for gut health in the sense that it helps to remove toxins. It acts like a broom in your body. So it helps to remove toxins, which is jackfruit is really rich in that. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that simmer and cook down. And I'm gonna switch my camera there. Okay, hello guys, how are you? It's good to see your faces. Hello. Hi, Miss Davis. Good to see you. I love you in purple. That's one of my favorite colors. All right, so while that's going, also gonna just add a little bit.
Yeah, mine needs to cook down a little bit, but it's looking good.
It's looking good.
Yep.
Very good.
Darn good too.
We can't see.
Awesome.
But I think I added too much sauce. Okay, so.
What? Barbecue sauce?
Cook down.
If you need to add more sauce on your collard greens, you can. All you can do is add some more water. I had my cooking on high, but if you cook it on medium, you should be fine. Right now, what? Oh, someone's trying something. What is it? What are you trying? I want to try with you. Did someone say?
Yeah, I tasted a little bit of the sauce of the jackfruit.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Awesome. Okay. So I've got my collard greens going. The jackfruit's cooking, as is my cornbread. So with the cornbread casserole, the way you'll know that it's done is you'll put a fork in the middle, and just make sure that when you remove the fork, there's no extra cornbread or any of the bread sticking to the fork. So it should just come right out without any like residue. So that's gonna keep cooking. Around about 15 minutes.
So this jackfruit,
Yeah.
I'm thinking you could put that over rice.
Yes, you could put it over rice. You could put it in a bowl. You can make it with, you could take this jackfruit, put it in a sandwich. So the other thing, what I'm going to share with you is, so you could put it over rice. You could put it in a bowl. You could make it in a sandwich. You could put it in a quesadilla. So you could just put the jackfruits. You could put some vegan cheese, put it with the quesadilla, corn tacos, put it with some sauce on it. It's numerous ways that you can actually eat it. Yeah, it's very versatile. And so also with what you're making now, you could do collard greens with the barbecue jackfruit, like a soul bowl as well. All right. And just so you know, as I'm speaking with you today, someone said, okay, I got that. Hello, Calvin. I'm not sure if he's still here. But hello, Calvin.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? Long time no talk. It's good. I'm glad you joined. Aren't you calling? Where are you calling in from? I forgot. Florida?
I'm St. Petersburg. Yeah.
You're in St. Petersburg, Florida. That is awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. Okay, we've got that. The other thing that I wanted to connect with you guys about is, these are great holiday meals. They're cooking right now. We actually may be done cooking about 4:10, just depending on how everyone's recipes are going. But these are really simple meals. As you can tell right now, we have 3 meals cooking at the same time. Did you guys feel like that was a lot of work?
No.
Simple. And they're still flavorful. How do you feel? Celeste is actually in there doing it too. How do you feel, Celeste?
We feel good.
Good. Oh, you're still hello. Who is that with you?
That's Lorna.
Hi, Lorna.
Hi.
Good to see you.
To see you too. I'm
Oh
looking
my
forward
God.
to our wellness club.
Yes. I was just talking to Ruth today. We're getting amped up for this. So this week, we're going to work on putting together the final touches for the retreat, and it should be launching by the end of the month. So we're going to do early bird this time. So you'll have.
Good. We'll be there.
Yeah, so, yep, so we're having that wellness retreat in March, the end of March. I believe it's March 24th through the 26th. So mark your calendars, guys. More information will come. But yeah, that is, and then also what I want to share with you guys, there's actually a survey as our food is cooking. There's also a survey for, and on here on the link, do you guys see that link? It says feedback survey. You actually can click that link right there and share your feedback. So what we discussed today is plant-based meals. Also, if you're interested in learning the biblical perspective on health, like why is this important? Like, you know, is it just to eat healthy food? Like, what is the deeper meaning behind it? You can actually click that survey as well. And on the survey, it'll give an option if you would like someone from the Ypsilanti Seventh-day Adventist Church to actually follow up with you to share the biblical perspective on health. So that is right there. So you just click that link. Does everybody see that link at the top? It says feedback survey in the chat. So you click the chat and then hit feedback survey. Calvin, do you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't hear you, Calvin.
He said yes.
Okay, great. Okay, perfect. Okay, so yep, it's right there. And I also am just going to paste it back in just in case if anyone has just joined us. So please go ahead and share your feedback. It's very short, no more than 5 questions. Very simple. Not going to take a lot of time at all. So we've got that. We've got the jackfruit going. I'm going to check on the cornbread casserole. Mine still needs to keep cooking, so probably. All right. Okay, so that is going there. Does anybody have any questions?
I just have a comment. I want to thank you for doing 3 menu items at the same time. I'm not a cook like some of these experts here that are cooking. And I always struggle with what do I start with? What do, you know, just so everything is timed and ends at the same time. So watching you do this really makes a difference.
Thank you. I appreciate it. For me, like, I used to do one dish at a time also. So essentially I would just have like one. And then I remember when I was in the kitchen in the restaurant that everyone's like looking at me like, let's go. So I was like, okay. So then that helped me like learn how to, so I completely get you. So I'm having the cornbread on for about 30 minutes. The jackfruit is now just going to absorb the barbecue sauce. I'm going to switch my cameras over so you can see it actually. Switch camera. Oh, there you go. So right there, you can see the barbecue jackfruit is now taking in all the flavor. The collard greens are taking in the flavor. And then the cornbread casserole is baking. Yes, it smells so good in here. Oh my gosh. Suresh, how's your kitchen smelling?
Very good.
Yay. Excellent. And how about you, Midas? I know you're cooking over there too.
Good. This smells very good. I just can't wait to put some of this in my mouth.
Yes.
I already have prepared steamed spinach and some other things, so I'm going to put them all together there.
Very nice. The one thing I also am going to add to the collard greens is coconut milk. So I'm going to, now we've allowed the collard greens to simmer. Now I'm going to add some coconut milk to our collard greens.
Boil down and see how.
Yeah, that
That's an interesting addition. Certainly not traditional for a Southern flair.
Yes, this is a little, and this is optional. I just add a little bit of coconut milk with it to add a little natural fat. And also, what the coconut milk does makes it more creamy.
Okay.
Add a little bit of that. And it has, so also I trained with a French chef that was from the island. So the coconut milk is a little bit influenced from the islands, and what it does, it makes it a little more creamy as well.
Mm.
You want to try this?
Add a little more.
Have you ever tried adding an eggplant to your collard greens?
I have not.
It's an additional vegetable
We
and
need to
adds
try.
to the flavor, and it totally dissolves. You don't even know it's there.
Oh, wow. So, and it adds a good flavor amount to it.
A little flavor, yes.
Okay, I like that.
You just peel it and chop it up and put it in with the collards when they first start cooking.
Oh, that is a cool idea.
Some people don't like eggplant.
I like my greens with a little bit more southern flair, so I'll add some okra, some cut, chopped.
Mm.
Okay,
Okra?
I like that. Okra.
Mm.
Okra is
Like-
definitely southern.
Yep. And high in vitamin
Oh, I
K.
haven't- yeah, I haven't used them. I bought them last year. Oh.
Same like collard greens.
Use a little bit more. Yeah, I did too much. I'll freeze it.
A friend of mine, she adds tomatoes.
You'll eat that.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good that way. I'd never tasted them until she had tomatoes, and I said, oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
very
That's
tasty.
good too, yes.
You eat it, but it needs a lot more. Or maybe we should add a little bit more of that.
Not
I think
nutrient-wise.
Can you mute yourself, Celeste?
Oh, sorry.
So Nicole, I got a couple of questions. Can you, I know you use the pre-washed greens. Do you wash them anyway? I mean,
Yeah, so like it just depends. It just depends. I do wash them. If if I have extra time, whatever, I do get pre-washed greens. But yes, I have washed my greens as well. You just put them in a strainer, just rinse them off quickly. Or if you have some people like soak it in a different solution to help take any extra things. So yeah, you can definitely wash pre-washed greens for sure.
and then my other question is, you cut up an onion. Is it okay to expedite that step by buying it already cut up?
You can. You
Mhm.
can. You
I mean,
definitely
it doesn't
can.
affect the flavor, right?
No.
Okay.
Well, it depends like on, how long the onions have been pre-cut up and different things like that. But typically, no. Also just with the just like with safety, also I like frozen, depending on like where they freeze it at its most natural state. It's less likely to be sitting around and other things like that. But it's really optional, whatever you prefer. You can definitely have pre-cut onions frozen and or fresh for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Also, Kelvin, I saw your question about the Elf Earth Balance butter. To my knowledge, I haven't looked at the direct ingredients for that, but you can look and see if there's any ingredients that are harmful. You can also search it up. I personally don't use that regularly, so I don't know off the top of the hand, but you could definitely search any of the ingredients to see if there's anything harmful there. All right, so now I'm going to switch.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Now I'm going to switch my camera to the coleslaw. So this is, so we've got 3 dishes going, and I don't know, did you guys get the coleslaw ingredients? If not, no worries, you don't need it. You did. Okay. So if you have it, even if not, I'm going to just share with you how you can make this. So I have my coleslaw there, and what I'm going to do, it's already
Dinner.
1 tablespoon or 1 tablespoon of celery seeds. So I'm going to start off like this. So I'm going to put 1 tablespoon. This is a half of a tablespoon. So I'm going to put 2 of these. 1 tablespoon of celery seeds. I'm also going to use 6 tablespoons of vegan mayo as well as a lemon. All right. So I'm gonna use 6 tablespoons. I can measure with my eye, but if you're following at home, follow the recipe for 6 tablespoons. So I'm gonna put about 6 tablespoons. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to also use the juice of a lemon. All right. So I like it because it has a nice citrus zest. And also, if you're interested in having a healthy gut, I actually recommend having lemon water first thing in the morning. It helps us set, it's really good for your gut microbiome. It's also really good for just neutralizing things and making sure that things are balanced. It also can be a little bit energizing. So I have warm water with lemon in it. So I definitely recommend adding that to your daily routine. The citrus actually gives it a nice, the citrus from the lemon gives it a nice kick. A lot of times when we're, trying different foods, our taste buds want to have something sweet, something a little spicy, a little salty. So this helps to really activate our senses. You're gonna add a little bit more vegan mayo, enough to cover your coleslaw. And the other thing that I add to it is celery salt as well. So we've got this going. It's very simple. I'm going to add, if you don't have celery salt, you can just use kosher salt or Himalayan salt, just like this. This accents the flavor. Anybody have any questions? Okay. It's very simple. You can, and with my recipes, I made them very simple so you can adjust the flavors to meet what you're looking for. I'm going to add a little bit more lemon juice. And that is it. So this is our coleslaw. Now our barbecue jackfruit should be done. You can check on it. You can also check on your cornbread as well as your collard greens. So take a moment to check on all your items that are cooking right now and see if it's time to take it off the heat. Mind you, everyone's kitchen's a little bit different. So depending on how your stove cooks, this is a great time to just take a check in and see, like, is it done? Do you need a couple more minutes? If it's the cornbread, you want to go ahead and test it with your fork or knife and put it in the center and make sure when you pull it out, there's no residue. If there's residue, it needs a couple more minutes. And the jackfruit is already done. It's just simmering in the sauce. If you want it to take on the flavor more, you can let it cook a little bit longer. The collard greens, based on the texture you like, just see if it's ready depending on your taste. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at our dishes so you guys can go ahead and check them out as well. And while I'm doing that, I just would like to know, what are you guys making for Thanksgiving? What's one of the dishes you'll make?
I'm gonna do collard greens and sweet potato spears. I'm going to do potato salad, and I'm also gonna try this corn casserole.
I like that. Very cool. Okay. It's done. Can you see it?
Mhm.
Mine is done. There you go.
It looks good. You're gonna cut a piece so we can see how it looks?
Oh, the pressure is on. I don't know. Let me change my camera real quick so I can do one without you looking. Hold on. Hold on. All right. All right. I'm over being shy. I'm going to share it with you now. All right. So here is the cornbread casserole. Let's just say I cut off, a side piece right here. Here's what it looks like on the inside. Can I see? Can you see?
Yeah, it looks good. I like it.
Okay, so let me try this for you at home. It's not fair if I make something and don't share with you what it tastes like. So hold on. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay. I like it. This is really good also with the jackfruit as well as the collard greens. It's a nice supplement. So we've got that. You can also check yours if you need to cook a little longer, you can do that also. So there's our cornbread casserole. Okay.
That looks really good. I'm so sorry I didn't get my cream of corn, but I'm going to get it tomorrow.
The next thing that I'm gonna make is the barbecue jackfruit sliders.
I wanted to show our cornbread festival.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Did you see the cornbread?
Yes, mine. I'm showing you
Oh
mine.
yeah, please show me yours.
Good. It looks good, Saran.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Taste it for me and tell me how it tastes. If I was there, I'd do it myself, but.
Ooh, look at those collard greens. Okay, I like that. All right, so now I'm going to make the barbecue jackfruit sliders. All right. So at the base, I'm gonna put, oh, you're looking, okay, hold on a second. So now at the base, I'm gonna also stir up the jackfruit. And I'm going to put it in our barbecue rolls. You can get whole wheat rolls, you can get, whatever roll works best for you. Like that, yeah. Okay. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is add the coleslaw. I'm gonna give it another stir. And then I'm gonna put it on it like this.
That's good. The coleslaw cuts a little bit of the sweetness
Mhm.
of the jackfruit. That's
Mhm.
great.
Yes. Thank you. Praise the Lord. I'm glad you like it. So we've got that there. And then I'm going to top it off so you can see. All right. Now we've got these ready to go. If you want to be fancy, this is not on the ingredient list, so don't actually mind me what I'm about to do. You can also put a little, you could douse up with a little like vegan butter if you want, or you can also put some chives. You can do anything to spruce up any of my recipes. I'm just gonna put some fresh chives over it. And now it wouldn't be right if I didn't try this. So I'm all about fairness. Okay, so it's definitely time for me to try this for us all. All right. So I'm gonna take, wow, okay. Oh my gosh. Wow. I took a big one. So can you see? It's
Yeah.
a slider ready to go. And now I must try it.
Mm.
Oh my God. So good. It's, wait, hold on. One more. Again, like it's not right. Like I have to. Oh my God. Praise the Lord. This is a delicious, easy, plant-based jackfruit slider that you can make at home. So everything is done on my end. I want to check in with everyone else and see how you're doing. For those of you that are watching, do you have any other questions?
So Nicole, I've got a couple.
Yes.
Is it okay for, you suggested drinking lemon juice in the morning?
Lemon water.
Lemon
with
water.
fresh. Yep.
Can you substitute successfully lemon juice rather than the real lemon?
You know, so I like the fresh lemon because it has less additives and it's less processed. So I would recommend the fresh lemon for sure.
Okay. And then switching gears, just in the February class, you recommended adding flaxseed. So would you
Yes.
add that to any of these dishes that you prepared today?
Well, you definitely could add a little bit of flaxseed. For sure you can. I would, if you're gonna like make a dish and spread it throughout the week, I would recommend doing it like only on the portion that you're actually going to eat that day. So it doesn't just like sit in it. I just like it being like fresh personally. So, and really what that does is it's excellent source of fiber and it's great for your digestive system. It's not necessarily needed with the barbecue jackfruit because it's rich in fiber. But you definitely can add it to any of the things. I don't know if I would add it to the cornbread casserole, but you could add a little elements to the collard greens if you want. And the good thing is a lot of the foods that we made today are directly from the source. They're plant rich. So they'll have lots of natural fiber in it as well.
And the flaxseed, that really should be flaxseed meal for actual digestion, right?
Yeah,
that's
so
what
yeah, so and great point. So when I say flaxseed, I mean ground flaxseed.
ground flaxseed.
So having it broken apart, actually I'll show you. I have some in mine. I just bought some new ground flaxseed. Okay, never mind. I can't find it now, but yes, ground flaxseed is exactly what I recommend. Okay. So yeah, ground flaxseed is great. And is there any, I think you had a couple other questions.
No, that was it for me.
Okay, thank you, Pam. I appreciate your questions.
Nicole, I have a question.
Yes.
If you have an item that has too much salt, is there anything that you can add to it to take some of the salt out?
Like give me an example. Are you thinking of something in particular?
Oh, let's see. Loma Linda has some prepackaged foods.
Okay.
And you know, all it takes is for you to put it in hot water for 5 minutes. But they have some that are real salty. Is there any, can you mix rice or something with it to take the salt or to balance the salt?
So citrus tends to like balance the salt, but if you're concerned about the saltiness for health intake, I would probably, if it's a food that's a super salty, naturally, I would probably just avoid it. But if you are interested, if it's a health reason, I'm not saying to use or not use anyone's products. I just want to preface that, but I'm just speaking in general. If there's any product that is very salty, for you and you're interested in for your health purposes, I recommend just, switching to another types of food that has less salt. And I definitely think you should recommend support, our brothers and sisters making great products. And if you find one that is too salty, I definitely recommend just switching to another one. For example, if you were to get canned food that is rich in, that has a high salt content, and let's say one thing you could do is you genuinely could rinse it to get rid of the salts. You could just put it in a strainer, and then just rinse it. That's one way of doing it as well. Also, having a little bit of citrus does take the bite from the saltiness. But if it's something prepackaged that you could avoid, I just would do that.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Any other?
Nicole.
Hey.
Hi. I just want to thank you for including me in your class, and you did a very good job, and I like your recipes, so I think I'm going to buy your cookbook.
Yay.
And yes, but I just have a couple of questions for you. What kind of vegan mayo did you use?
Yeah, great question. I used Hellman's. Oh, can you see it? Let me see.
Okay, so they
Okay.
do have it then. Okay.
So, and then you also, there's a whole bunch of other ones. There's like Vegenaise, there's like, there's a whole bunch of other ones, and you can find the one that has the ingredients you're looking for if you want it to have less or more of something.
Okay, then I have another question. Like, I'm going to be preparing some fresh cranberries. And I know cranberries are very helpful and they're very simple to make, the recipes on the bag, and it's, like a cup of water or whatever, a cup of sugar. What could be used instead of the sugar that would be a good substitute and not as bad for you as the actual sugar to cook the cranberries? Because they are so tart. Yeah.
Yeah. Natural sugars, I like to say less processed. It's going back to like how God originally created products, in the sense that not products, actually like produce, if you will.
Yeah.
So you could use natural things, such as like you could use maple syrup. Depending how you feel about honey. I know there's, that isn't considered vegan because it does come from a bee. But you could use maple syrup. You could also use light brown sugar. But maple syrup is a less processed alternative. So I definitely recommend. Yeah.
What about
thank you.
What about stevia?
Stevia?
Yeah. What is that like? Where is that from? Is that artificial?
From my understanding, it is processed sugar. So I like to use less processed, such as like maple syrup or something like that. But depending on the item that is cooked, sometimes I do use processed sugars, but I definitely recommend maple syrup.
What about raw cane sugar?
Sure, you can use raw cane sugar. Yep. So the thing about stevia in general, and I was just double checking, stevia is highly refined. And so that is the downside of stevia, versus like if you go to maple syrup, it's more in its natural state. So the more natural something is, the better it is for your body, generally speaking.
I understand you can also use dates as a sweetener. Maybe that's
Oh,
just for certain
absolutely.
things, but that's a.
Dates are excellent. Also, dates are great. That's natural. If you were to also use like a processed sugar, they also have coconut sugar. So there's lots of great healthy alternatives. All right. Do you have any other questions? Hello, Joe. How are you?
Hello, I enjoyed your class.
Thank
A lot
you.
of fun.
Thanks for coming. All right. And is that, hold on one second. Great. Does anybody else have any? Hi, Vivian. Does anyone else have any questions? All right. I want to check in on Celeste. Celeste, how's everything going in your kitchen? I'm excited.
Going great. I did try the barbecue jackfruit with the coleslaw on top. Really, really good.
Awesome.
In a bun. So Debbie, you're welcome to come back.
Okay.
All right. Well, it has been a pleasure cooking with you all. So I think by now the collard greens should be done. We've got the casserole. We've got the barbecue jackfruit sliders. It's been a blast. And I just want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy Sunday to cook with us. Again, please take a few moments to take that quick survey. It's only 5 questions, very simple. And you can actually, if you're interested on the biblical perspective on health as well, in that survey, you can share that. You can just share that in there and leave your contact information. And one thing I love to say with my cooking classes, one of my inspirations is this verse 3 John 2, which shares, "Beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospers." God cares about every component of us, our mind, our body, and our spirit. So I wish you the best in your wellness journey. And also, I know some of you were interested in the cookbook. You could go to the website, bewellbewhole.org. I'm also going to turn it over to Debbie if there's any final announcements as we're closing.
No, there aren't. I just want to thank you, Nicole, for taking time out of your very busy schedule to do a cook along with us. Hopefully this won't be the last one. I think we've had a lot of fun. I've learned a lot, even though I didn't cook along. I was watching, but I gained a lot of information. So, and it was actually fun being able to watch others cook along, Celeste and Matus and Lorna. So that was great. So I'm glad I can just go over their house and eat their food.
That's a smart plan. I like that's smart. Awesome.
So thank you very much. And yeah, again, I want to underscore the request to complete the survey feedback because that will help us as we plan for future events.
All right.
All right. So I think I will let everyone go. If there isn't anything else from you, Nicole, then thanks again. And I wish for everyone a blessed Thanksgiving holiday and enjoy your barbecue jackfruit, coleslaw, greens, and cornbread casserole.
Yes. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of the
Thank
day.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Very nice.
Thank you.
Bye.